Last time on
Jake's Moto. I'll get back in the morning. We'll finish up with the other bike. God, it is chilly. Okay. I'm going inside. All right, it's the next day. It's a lot warmer out. That's a lie. It's been like a week. We've had some interesting weather here in the old Texas area, and I got wrapped up in that. It's been crazy. There was no power here for almost 2 days. Then the water ran out, and that was tricky. There's a lot. I can tell you all about it. Probably don't really care. Not that you don't care. I'm not, you know, nobody wants to hear like a 30-minute story about the insanity that went here. We went real caveman for a little bit. As you can see, I've got the bike on the lift. XR is done, although I just also noticed that there's pretty much now the cords are showing on the rear tire of the XR. So it's raining right now, so I can't get out and test this thing when I'm done with it. I mean, that's whatever. This bike though, we're supposed to go camping now in like 2 days. I need to get this thing done. Oil change, look over everything like normal. I want to try to pull the chain guide slidey thing off that I built and check it, this template that I made, just to see how it looks, see how it's holding up, see if there's anything I need to adjust on it. I'm gonna start the bike up and get it all warmed up to change the oil, because that's what you do. I like that there was a weird controversy over that. It's stupid. I'll leave the garage open for a few more moments to let some of the stuff out. Because last time I've done this, I added a skid plate. You could just take the skid plate off. That'd be a pain. I want to see if I can use some tin foil to kind of make a cup up in here. I mean, I can get to the plug. They left a big hole right here, right here. There's plenty of ways to access it. If I just let it drain into the skid plate, well, it's gonna make a big mess. So I've got my jug back here, and I'm gonna give this a shot. This could be a complete failure, but like I said, this is my first time trying it. I guess you could try to do this with plastic too. I would think it would melt. You know, you got the exhaust right there, you got the hot oil hitting it. I think if I go, I'm gonna have to move this down, but I think if I go right here, you know, there's good enough access to get to it. All right, I can get this off. Sorry, my hand's in the way, I apologize. Okay, there it goes, there it goes. It's gonna spill, oh. No, it's not working very good. There we go. Oh, okay, it's kind of working now. I gotta hold this though. I definitely got some oil into the skid plate when that first started, but no, it's just water falling right into the back here. I moved the camera, but okay, I think I can kind of move it. Like I kind of move it. Oh my God, please don't get disgusting. Can you see what's happening? Can you see? I think I got you in a halfway decent shot. Definitely got a little bit of oil on my table, couple drops, but you know what? What's that gonna do? It's wood. I'm gonna preserve it. When I first built this thing, how many people commented, they're like, what happens if you spill oil on it? I was like, it lasts longer. Trying to see about getting this oil filter off might be a little tricky. Go figure, exhaust is still warm. It's like this bike was just on or something. I think the whole filter, yeah, look at that. The whole filter will fit right through there. That's pretty cool. I don't know if this was the best way to do this. I think next time I'll probably try to just take the skid plate off, and then I'll try to remember what was easiest. Problem is, some time will have passed by then, and I'll, you know, I'll probably just continually go back and forth for the rest of my life because I won't be able to remember what was harder, you know? I'll let that drip down for a little bit. My brother gave me this thing a while back. This goes up on the handlebars. The idea is this would be somewhere to hang your helmet. Because that's the thing, you always get off my bike, I'm always like, what do I do with my helmet? And I think he saw me struggling like a moron too many times. So I'll throw this on the bike. Let's see how that works. We'll see how that works. If I hate it, I'll I'll kick my brother in the teeth for trying to do something nice. So to get chain slider off, which is kind of right back behind here, there's the way it normally comes on and off is that you take this whole piece off right here. The rear set's attached to it and the swing arm axle goes through it. Kickstand's attached to it. I'm gonna try to not do that just because it's a bit of a job. So I think I may be able to get in there. Now there's basically a screw here and here, 10 millimeter on this smaller one on the back side. And I think this one's got like a 13 or something weird. Both parts of these have threaded things plus a nut on the other side. So I have to kind of try to hold this still, get back in here. The tricky thing too is there's like washers and stuff in here when I go to put this thing back. This is a little tricky. Yeah, now we're doing something there. You know, once you let a little pressure off of it, I feel like I can unthread it without hurting the threads I tapped into this. If you don't remember why we had this, you go back and watch the build. Basically because of some geometry changes we've made and some aftermarket goodies that we've jacked the rear end up almost 3 inches or right around that, like it's about 2.5 or so, by pivoting the swing arm down more. We're causing this chain to rest on the frame if we made sure we put enough slack in it. So this chain always looks like there's a ton of slack in it. I mean, there really is, but it has to be. There's no way really to avoid it. Did some measurements, figured out what would happen if you went through all the suspension travel and adjusted the chain from there. I feel like putting this back in is gonna be where it gets really tedious. Because there's these washers that space everything out properly. Of course, I put nylock nuts in here, which I don't regret, but it's making this a little more work. Definitely did cut some grooves into it. I do see a potential issue. I'm gonna clean this off and let's look at this a little better. Spraying some simple green on it because my brother bought me this the other day. He likes to buy me things. He's a very nice brother. We've dug a bit of a groove into this, but it's nothing extreme. Honestly, most of it's right here at the beginning, which I kind of expected, to be honest, because this is where it hits on this the hardest. Once the chain comes back from here, it's sort of sloping back and out. So this was always going to be the hardest spot. This is the spot, if I ever could, I'd like to figure out how to get a roller in here. Comparison's sakes. Oh yeah, I've come down just a tiny bit there. Mostly this is fine. What it's doing is it's cutting lines. It's got the lines for the chain, but then there's this sharp little groove right here on both sides. And what that would be is where, well, it'd be the gap between them where the O-ring rides. And that's actually getting quite sharp. And if you look at a normal chain guide, it has these sort of dished out things in there, but I want to come in here with a Dremel and taper this back down, this little sharp line right here, because otherwise that's going to start eating into the O-rings. Just don't want to disturb too much else is going on here, because I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I made pretty short work of that. Well, that was definitely a pain trying to put that thing on without taking it all apart. It's like arguable if it was actually better to do that way, but I got it back on. Chain looks good. When I remember measuring it before, that's basically the same amount of slack. It was just under 3 fingers back here. That's not the most accurate way to measure it, but I'll go ahead and throw a little extra on there just because. Whereas I've had people ask me before, why don't I fill this oil filter full of oil first so I don't starve the engine when I first start it of oil? Well, because this filter goes on sideways. It would not be really any convenient way to do that at all. And we're only talking about a few seconds on no load on the engine. It'll be all right. I feel like this is where I'm gonna make the biggest mess because I think there's a little puddle of oil in here and I don't, okay, there goes some. Yeah, this isn't working. Well, you try things out sometimes, right? What is that, guy? Is that also a 17? Oh, that's just lucky. The old WD-40 will loosen a lot of that up. I know, right? This is gonna get the internet crazy. All right, I'm certainly not here claiming that we're always doing everything the right way. Sometimes we're just doing things, you know? That's what we want to see. If all goes well, I'll get ready to go camping, and then tomorrow I'll get the bike all packed up, and then the following day on Saturday I'll head out, and be me, Chris, Matt, Ian, we should all be out there. The ride definitely won't be as wild. We're staying in Texas, unlike Ted Cruz. You know, all the good stuff seems like it's in Oklahoma, or if you go way out to like West Texas, but we're gonna hit some cool stuff. We've got a Discord server, it's always good fun. Those of you on Patreon, after this uploads, jump over there and I'll be saying what's up to you guys like I always do after these videos go up. See y'all later.